Today's video is a little bit different video than I normally do, the couples Q&A video, but I think we should start off with how we met. Was it love at first sight? Who said I love you first? What is the secret to a happy, healthy marriage? How do y'all settle marital issues? What is your biggest struggle during deployments? Do y'all ever get tired of each other? Where do y'all envision yourself in 10 years? Who is the stricter parent and who is the disciplinarian? You can answer freely, he's not gonna do nothing to you. Welcome back to Ria's World of Ideas. If you are new to my channel, I am Ria, and on my channel I love sharing all the ideas that I find helpful in my life and home, and hopefully you'll find them helpful in your life and home as well. So if you're not subscribed already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave this video, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you're always notified on all the new videos that I put out. And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up to let me know that you enjoyed it so that I'm able to bring more videos to you guys in the future that you guys would like. So with all that being said, let's jump into today's video, and today's video is a little bit different video than I normally do because I have a guest with me today. I have my husband Jamie, and I've been wanting to do this video for the longest time on my channel. It's a couples Q&A video, but as you guys know, if you've been following me for a while, my husband is in the military and he has been deployed a lot, and so every time I want to do this video, he's always gone. So he's finally here, and since it's Valentine's Day tomorrow, I figured I was like, why not do a couples Q&A video, and then we could post it on Valentine's Day. So that's what we're doing. So you want to say hi?
What up, world? I'm here.
So you might have seen him in some of my vlogs that I used to do back. I haven't done vlogs in a while, but sometimes you will see him in the vlogs. But so here he is, Jamie. So you want to say how old you are? How old are you?
I'm dropping my age like that.
You want to say how old you are?
We can make that a trivia question.
That's a trivia. Okay, so
I'm in my mid-30s. I'm gonna leave it at that.
That's a lie.
Mid-30s.
Guess, comment down below what age you think he is and what age you think I am. So we're gonna start off with I guess like I'm gonna answer some questions that you guys have been sending me, and then but I think we should start off with how we met. You know, how do we meet? You want to answer that, or do you want me to answer that?
Sure. I can give it a go, and then you can give your your side of
it's
the
the same thing. Okay, so all right.
Perspective.
How do we meet?
So we met through mutual friends.
We did.
One of my best friends when I first joined the military, Seth Lede.
I don't think we're gonna say their names on here.
Oh, too late. We called him Day Day. But yeah, we met through mutual friends. He started.
He was dating one of my friends at the time,
one of her
Leela.
friends at her job. And,
yeah.
I went there and with him one day for Valentine's Day, if I'm not mistaken, to drop off some Valentine's Day gifts and whatnot, and that's the first time I saw her.
Because I worked at a daycare, and this is and I was like 19, turning 20 that year, and so that was what I call my club years, and that's like his club years. So basically like
college years.
Yeah, our college years. So I worked at a daycare, and everybody I worked with at the daycare, we basically clubbed on Fridays and Saturdays and Thursday night sometimes, depending on the holidays. And so Leela was one of my good friends at the time, and I used to work with her and club with her, and she was dating the one he's talking about, and so he would come up to visit the daycare to see her, and that's the first time he saw me, but I didn't really notice him at first, but so it was like basically our group of friends knew each other, right?
Yep. The only conversation we had that day was about her coffee cup, which had the year we both graduated high school, which was, I'm not gonna throw that out there because once again, you know my age, or maybe not, you know what I'm saying? But so yeah, that was how we met.
Well, that's how we kind of met.
Right.
Well, how we knew each other, but it wasn't. It took like a year before we actually got together. Yeah. So within that year, like a lot of other people that I hung out with actually liked him. One of my good friends at the time, she really had a crush on him, and then two other, I would call them associates, they had a big crush on him. So they always talked about him, and every time we went to the club, they were like I said, his club friends and my club friends were always like talking to each other. So I knew of him, but I didn't like him at the time. And then I would say that year's New Year's Eve party, and at the same time I was dating somebody, so I was in a bad relationship at the time, and so I don't really notice people when I'm in a relationship. But then that New Year's Eve party that year, the same couple that they kind of introduced us, they were throwing a party, and I had just got out of a bad relationship, and he was at the party making everybody laugh. And it was like, I kid you not, it was like, I always say this, it's like it was like a light shined over him, like a type of angel type of light shined over him. And I looked at him, and I've been looking at him for a year, but I looked at him and I was like, oh my God, he is cute. And I think it was because he was making everybody laugh. And one of those things about me is I love to laugh. And if you can make me laugh, I think that is like so attractive. And he's a funny guy. So we knew of each other for a year because our friends knew each other. But I didn't notice him until like really that time. And then when did you notice me? Because one of our questions was it love at first sight? So I answered that. It wasn't love at first sight for me, but
no, I can't. At that age and time, I wasn't even thinking about love. It was nothing like the movies. No. I wasn't really high on myself at that time, so I talked to her, but I didn't have the confidence to even think about trying to connect with her in that way. So
why?
No. Oh, I just felt like I said, I had low self-esteem at that time, so I felt like she was out of my league. So I was like, conversation, but that was it, and I moved on out. So
he thought he was out of my league, yet still the people I was hanging around with him would like basically fighting over him at the time. So it was
there
like
was no fights.
Whatever, they were all like interested in him. So that's, I guess I answered one question. It wasn't love at first sight, but I will say, like a lot of people, like a tip I will give you guys, when you're always looking for love, don't look for love, because when that right person comes around, it comes when you least expect it. Because at the time when we got together, I had been in so many bad relationships back to back. Well, not been in so many, 2 bad relationships back to back. And he always said that he was never gonna date, he'd never have girlfriends, never get married, never do anything. So we didn't come in, you know, meeting each other that it was gonna happen. Like we even when we started liking each other, we were like, oh, we'll just hang out a while, and that was it. And we ended up falling in love and falling for each other, and 17 years later and 2 kids later, we're still here. So
yeah.
So never go looking, you know, don't go looking for love. Sometimes it'll come when it comes. And
sometimes spontaneity is good. You know, it's not always good to plan things out, because I think sometimes it puts a little too much pressure on you to find that. So
yeah. And another question is, who said I love you first? Whoa. I'm gonna tell you the truth, I don't remember. I don't honestly remember. But knowing me, how lovey I am.
I think I showed it first.
Yeah.
I think I showed it first, and she may have been the one to
I think I did say it first, because I always, in our relationship, I brought up everything, and he was like, okay. He was just like, okay. He just went with the flow when we were dating. Yeah. So I think maybe I said it first, and he said it too. Because I'm like, if any, everybody knows me, like if I'm a friend to you, or like if I'm with you, I'm very loving, I'm very affectionate. So I probably think it was me, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not the I guess you said a hopeless romantic.
You weren't the affectionate
type.
You weren't the affectionate type.
I'm not going to speak those words, but I will show you by action. So that was, I can say I showed it first.
Yeah. All right, so now we're going to move on to some more questions. And a lot of these questions came from my niece, Crystal, which she has a YouTube channel too. So if you guys are not following her, you definitely need to go follow her and subscribe to her channel. I'll leave all that down below in the description box. She is a amazing mother. She has 2 little kids. She just gave birth to a daughter during COVID time. And she's just all natural, and everything's holistic. And she's just a good person. Like, just being around her, she's just a good person, a good vibe. And she gives so many great tips on her channel. And her husband are hilarious. They also did a couples Q&A, and they're just cool people. So definitely go follow their channel if you haven't followed them. But a lot of the questions she had, that is my girl. That's my baby. She was my baby, and then now she ended up being one of my best friends. So she said, what is the secret to a happy, healthy marriage? And I would say, for one, communication. You have to communicate. And that was hard for me, because sometimes I'm the type that if I get mad, I give you the silent treatment. And he knows that, and so he kind of forces it out of me, because he knows that if it's a silent treatment, it's going to get worse. So, but that's how I am. And then I would say, choose wisely who you have in your circle of friends and stuff like that. Because in the beginning of our marriage, I listened to a lot of people, and anytime you told me something, I would get mad first and yell, and then ask questions later, right? And it was a lot of just, lies and stuff about us. And, they say misery loves company. So it was a lot of stuff in our relationship that happened because I was listening to other people. And then, but once we moved to Virginia, I would say we surrounded ourselves, and we didn't do it on purpose. It just happened, with great couples, like the Vans. They were just a good couple. The Gandys, also, who was the other ones? They homeschooled the Yarberries, but the other one they homeschooled, I forgot their last name. She homeschooled her son. They were just,
Julius.
Yeah, it was a lot of genuine couples that we hung out with in Virginia. And what I loved about them is not only they loved us as individuals, they loved us as a couple. So they always encouraged us. So they were always you know, they were never the type of friends they'd be like, okay, let's go do this on your spouse. They were always like, let's do things as a couple. Let's do guys night, let's do girls night. But we all knew that we were married. So they were always like, they were just very encouraging. They were just positive people to be around. And so I would say surround yourself with other positive like couples. And if it's not only couples, just even in your single friends, make sure that they want the best for you and not the worst for you. So that's what I would say. But
I would just kind of caveat off, I think the second thing you said, which is just watch the people you be around. So trust. If there's no trust in a relationship, there's not a relationship. That's in any type of relationship. Friendship, if you got a relationship as family member, it don't even matter. If there's no trust, then there's no relationship. And I think you already said communication. So I think just that trust and loyalty, knowing that somebody has your back, knowing that, you know, you have somebody that's always going to be there when you need them. So
and then with the trust thing, I'll piggyback off that, because I think that's like, I think people jump into marriage too easily, and I feel like you can't just marry anybody. Like, to me, if you marry somebody, you have to fully trust them, because what's the point of getting married to them if you're not going to trust them? If you're going to believe everybody else around them and you're going to believe all these other lies and not trust in your spouse, then why are you married to them? Like, you can date people, but you shouldn't get married until you fully trust that person. And if you don't fully trust that person, then that's not the person for you. Like, once I started I started not listening to other people and actually just focusing on us and not putting our business out there. That's nothing. Don't put your business out on social media. If you're having fights and having issues, that's on you. Don't put your stuff out, because that just gives people ammo. But I just feel like I totally trust him. He's been deployed so many times, and we put our trust in each other that we've been apart so long, but we're still together because I trust in him and he trusts in me. And at the end of the day, his word is over anybody, and the same I say vice versa too. So yeah, you got to have that trust in the relationship. Another one from Crystal: how do y'all settle marital issues?
Let me see. One, you got to talk about it. So that kind of goes back to communication.
Which I had to work on.
You can't just like hold it in and give each other the silent treatment, or go outside the marriage and try to
confide in the other.
Confide in other people, trying to get people who going to be on your side, because that is not healthy at all. Because if you just going outside to get that yes man or yes woman just to agree with you without talking with your partner, then you're not really solving anything. So I think you just need to talk to your partner, just talk about it, compromise. It's all about compromising especially in a marriage. You have to learn how to compromise and know what you can tolerate, and just talk about that piece, and I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, because that's what's like. Don't have yes men. Have friends that are gonna tell you like it is. Like,
straight up.
One of my best friends that I consider you like a best friend is, you're gonna tell me if I'm wrong. I don't want you to tell me. I want you to agree with me. Now, I'm the type of personality that sometimes I don't like it when you disagree with me, but I need to hear it though. And that's just, I'm being honest about myself. Right, but that's a friend though, and they have to tell you when you're wrong, and they have to tell you when you're right and stuff like that. And also I would say how do you settle marital issues is, you need to know going in any relationship, it's not perfect. You're going to argue. There's going to be times where you're not going to like each other. You're not going to like what that person said. And that's okay. Like, it's okay to have different opinions. It's okay to have different views. I always feel like, and I always throw it out there, that 80-20 rule, where when you get married, you're getting married to someone that's 80% of what you want, but there's 20% of something that you don't like. But the 80% always outweighs the 20, because there is no perfect marriage. None. There's no if someone tells you they have a perfect marriage, or someone tells you they're happy all the time, somebody's lying.
One of them is lying.
Somebody's lying, because you're going to fight. We fight. We argue, we disagree. But again, another thing that settles our arguments is that, like I said, he makes me laugh, and I make him laugh now. And so it's like we'll end, like, sometimes we'll just end up being like we're mad at each other, but then we're like, bring it in, and we try to hug each other, and I'm like, I don't want to hug you right now. But then it's just like we end up laughing, and then we get over it.
Yeah.
So laughter, I would have to say, and joking is actually another way to settle like arguments. But just know that you are going to argue, and it's okay.
Yeah. So and then just one of the heavy ones: respect and understanding. So
yes.
You don't have to like she was saying, agree with what that person is saying, but you have to learn how to respect and just understand where that person is coming from. Just try to understand you know, their side of it. If you only see your side and have it closed-minded, then no one is really going to move forward in that relationship. So.
Yeah. Okay, so another one from Crystal. What is your biggest struggle during deployments? And what was my biggest struggle and what was your biggest struggle? My biggest struggle during deployments was just not being with him. But it's like, I don't know, after a while, like, and I don't know if this was a good thing or a bad thing, I became numb to like him being deployed. I got used to it. But it kind of helped because I was mom and dad for both my girls. And I knew that for my girls, I think it's like sometimes for when deployments, if you're single, I mean, not single, if you don't have no kids, it's kind of harder because you're just sitting not doing nothing. But because I had kids and I knew that they depended on me, I had no choice but to get through things. But my biggest struggle was loneliness, because I was lonely. I wanted my spouse there. And also, being scared because I was by myself in the home and I had to protect my girls. So that was like, being lonely, and the fact that I was the one that had to be home to protect everybody. That was my biggest struggles.
Yeah, for me, it was just the fact of not being there. Knowing that I'm missing out, especially when my daughters was born, knowing I was missing out on a lot of their
cheer competitions.
Yeah, a lot of their activities. They change daily, and I'm missing out on those things, and them not being able to see me, feel my presence, me thinking that they're not gonna know who I am when I come back. They're gonna be afraid of me. They're not gonna be able to show me any love and affection because, once again, they may not know me because I'm not around, and being out of sight and out of mind can make someone that absent feeling. So I think that was the biggest thing, just not being able to be there for my daughters, if and when they needed me during those hard times, and my wife as well. I know she was strong, and I had been through a lot of deployments, a lot of rotations, training rotations, and 4 combat, and then I had 2 training rotations, which was 9-month apiece. So,
and then you were gone to Germany. We didn't go
for 2 years, and a bunch of NTC rotations, which are 30-day rotations.
So we've been separated like 7 times. You would say 7 times, and they were like year spans.
We've been
year and a half spans.
A whole lot of separation, a whole lot of missed activities for my daughters, and watching them go through all those life changes. So. I think that was the biggest thing. Oh,
and then also, I was always scared. that he wouldn't come back. And that was one thing, because I was like, this is the love of my life. This is my best friend. Like, for me, when you get into a marriage, it's not about, for me at least, it's not about that this is a person that I'm just attracted to. This is like this is just my boyfriend. This is just someone like, you turn into family. 17 years, we've been together all our 20s and most of our 30s now, going into our 40s later on. And it's like, he's my family now. So it's like, the fact that he might not come back home, that I was always scared, because like I said, this is the love of my life. I know this is the love of my life, and I honestly don't feel like I could probably move on. Like, I know people say they don't, and then they do, but this is my best friend. This is my everything. And so that was, I have to say, the worst is that you might not come home. Yeah. And the fact that my girls would grow up without a father. And especially, like, my oldest, she's missed so much with him. And now, since he's not deployed a lot lately, they're building a great relationship now. But for a while, she wouldn't feel comfortable talking to him because she didn't know him. She knew that was her dad, but he was gone most of her young years. My younger one got to spend more time with him than she did. But now they're building this great relationship, and they're stronger together. They kind of pair up against me, which I don't like. But they're building this great relationship now, and so that was another struggle, that you guys weren't building that bond. I love the bond of my girls having with their dad, and that's another thing I didn't like, or whatever. Yeah. Do y'all ever get tired of each other? Says, I'm sure you would not be together 17 years, but if y'all could explain. So I always joke that I say that we're married 17 years because we've been separated every other year. Ever since we got married, he's always been deployed, and his first two deployments were a year and a half, right? They were a year and a half. They were a year and a half. Then it was a year for the other ones, and then he went to Germany for 2 years, which we didn't go because I chose not to, because my daughter was little, and I knew that he was going to get deployed in Germany, and I just didn't want to be alone in a foreign country. And I had already been in Germany when I was younger, so that wasn't something I wanted to go do. And I'm glad I didn't go, because he was deployed, he was deployed a year, and then the year he was there, he was in school or he was in the field. So he was never home anyway. So, but I joke that I say that we didn't get tired of each other because he was gone every other year. But now we've been together a lot, and we do get tired of each other. But I would say that I always tell people you should always have a man cave. You should always have a craft room or a she shed. You should always have a room in your house that you can go away from each other, not the bedroom, that you can spend your own time and have great friends that you can do, like do boy nights and do girl nights. And it's okay if your spouse does that. Don't be like, oh, I don't want my spouse to go out. Like, why are you trying to keep your spouse in? Because again, if you married them, you should trust them. Yeah. So they need their guys' nights. You need your girls' nights, and you should trust in that. And that way, if you have those, you don't get tired of each other.
Yeah, I encourage it. I encourage her all the time to find friends. Not because I'm tired of her, but just no. It's just
I know, but
it's just so you can get just be with someone who can kind of relate to what you're going through.
Yeah.
As a female, and guys' night is just good to feel like you're hanging with the boys again. You're doing manly things. And so it's good. It's encouraged in our relationship. I encourage her to do it all the time. Me and my fellows, we done did a few, guys trips. We got to be planning one soon coming up. By the way, COVID kind of put some things on halt, but
yeah. And I definitely need a girls trip. I haven't took one in ever.
Yeah. So, and talked about the man cave. That's a great asset for any relationship. I definitely recommend it. She shed, craft room, woman cave, whatever you want to call it, but it just gives you that time to miss each other.
Yep.
If you up under each other all the time, you're gonna start the small things are gonna start to annoy you.
Yes.
And that's gonna lead to small bickering, which then leads to big arguments.
And I know y'all felt that during COVID.
Yes.
Like the smallest little thing.
Yeah, and so
like the divorce rate went up during COVID time.
Yeah. Ask our daughters how much not going to school affected their relationship. They started that small bickering. That's they arguing and fighting every day. So I recommend just giving yourself time to miss each other, and I think that's that's key.
Another one, where do y'all envision yourself in 10 years? So 10 years from now, I envision us having another home that we're going to build. We built this one, but we realized we don't want a 2-story, and we realized we want some land, and hopefully we're going to be near my niece Crystal. And get some land, and so I want to do that, and hopefully in 10 years I plan for my YouTube career to grow, because I love sharing with you guys, and I love the interaction I have with you guys. Like he can tell you, I get so excited when you guys comment back, because it's like, not only like for me, for YouTube, is I like helping people, and I like hearing stuff back from you guys. So your interaction with me is amazing. So I envision that that will go further, and I envision that later on he will probably make more cameos and help me out. Even though it's my channel, but
you want to.
It's my channel.
It's up to the people. I give the people what they want.
And I also want to do like more, like me and him, we go to, in the military, they always offer like marriage counseling, like seminars or marriage retreats. And we have signed up for all of them and went to them, and they are a blast. I love them, guys. And I know that some people might think like, oh, it's that go to it, but they are fun, and we love doing it. We learn so much more about each other, and we actually as a couple like to help other couples, and we like to
just see different perspectives.
See different perspectives. Yeah,
you think you are a certain way in your relationship, or your relationship is good and or bad, but then you start seeing other couples and how they interact with each other and how their relationship is, and you be like, man, it's not that bad, or man, oh, so that's normal.
Yeah.
So it's just good to see other people in your same situations,
and you can relate.
And how they handle things, and you may get some ideas like, oh, I didn't even think about that. So it's just good to do that as well.
Yeah. So in 10 years, I don't know if in 10 years, but I want us to do something like that where we do our own little marriage retreats, because I think it's so fun. Because every time when we go to one of those, we're like always a couple that like answers questions and stuff like that. Because we love. I mean, I know I do. I love helping people, but I love helping people in relationships, because I feel like every marriage can be saved if you really want to work at it. And I just love to see people happy, as far as like having like a spouse, because you can't do nothing in life unless you have somebody there holding you down. Like I know that some people like, I'm independent, that's great, but to have that one person that you can always count on that has your back is just a wonderful feeling in life. And so I love to help people out in relationships and everything like that. So that's kind of like, I want us to do something like that later on in the future together, because I enjoy it and he actually enjoys it too. So, and he helps out. It's funny because he always helps out people too. So yeah. So the next question I'm gonna have my daughters help me answer, because they might get their perspective on it. So it's my niece. She says she knows I'm a yeller, which in Puerto Rican, yes, I do yell. She asked if he yells because she feels like he doesn't ever have a yelling tone. Now, this is misconception in my family. They think that he's so chill and he doesn't yell, but he does get mad. So Brianna, you want to come and answer? Come over here and answer. So Brianna's going to answer the next 2 questions. Ari doesn't want to be, come on this side. Ari doesn't want to be on camera because she feels like she has to get dressed and she's not going to want to be on camera. So Bri, this is my littlest one, Brianna Renee. So how old are you?
11.
She's 11. So is Daddy a yeller? You can answer freely. He's not going to do nothing to you.
He's not a yeller. He just like kind of talks strictly. I never really heard him.
Does he get loud? Has he got loud?
Yeah.
Yeah?
But he doesn't like yell. He just kind of gets loud. He doesn't yell. He just kind of gets loud.
Okay.
Like sternly talks.
Sternly talks.
Yeah.
Okay. So he yells. So, and then the next question is, where is it at?
Thank you for telling the truth, Bri.
Who is the stricter parent and who is the disciplinarian in the couple? Who is more stricter?
Dad's strict with school, but that's like the only thing he's strict with. You're strict with everything else. So you're the stricter parent, then discipline like.
Who disciplines you? Who punishes you more?
Mom. Because I basically...
And that is because, honestly, with all the deployments and him leaving all the time, it's always been me. So when he does come back, sometimes he doesn't, he doesn't want to... sometimes when soldiers come back, they don't want to step on, their wives' toes and stuff like that. And they tell them that. Don't they give you, like, a briefing to not come back?
Not try to come back and take over and just... I know for me, my side of things, I don't want to come home from deployments or from training and just be known as that, that disciplinarian, Daddy's coming, so I know we're going to get punished. Like, I don't want to be just known as that person. So sometimes I am a little lenient, or I will lean on the mother and let her do the punishing because she's around more, so she can kind of have a different perspective on, that level of annoyance, per se, or if it's really that bad. Because as I've gotten older and spent some time away, my temper or what I can tolerate has changed. Mm-hmm. I know for me, small things irk me, and what I mean by that is, and I say this all the time, stupid, versus ignorant. Mm-hmm. Sorry for using those 2 words, but stupid versus ignorant. Those are my 2 kind of separators. Stupid meaning if you know it's wrong, but you're gonna do it anyway. Ignorant, like, hey, you didn't know, got it, understood. But if you knew it and you still went about and did it, I have no tolerance for that. So that's just my thing. Okay, and then it says, who is the most stubborn in the relationship? Ooh. Who do you feel is the most stubborn? I must say I'm stubborn. I was. You are stubborn, but I would say I would say at the beginning I was stubborn. Like in all my relationships, I would never back down, never. But with this one, I have a mix of stubbornness and passion. So she calls it stubborn. He calls it passion. I call it. I'm just passionate about what I believe in. Like, no, he's stubborn about what he believes in. And the oldest one is just like him. I truly believe that what I'm saying is correct, and if I'm wrong, I'm still correct. So I would say I was stubborn at the beginning, but I think I've changed a lot. So, but that is it for the questions that we're gonna do for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this different twist on my channel, getting to know me a little bit better, because I know a lot of you guys want to get to know me a little bit better. So I figured, why not get to know me and my husband during Valentine's Day? And I'll probably do another one of these just for me, for any questions that you have for me. But if you want to see us again answering some more couples questions or talking about different things we learned in the marriage retreat or anything that has to do with marriage, just let me know in the comments down below, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Hey guys, don't forget to click on the picture in the middle of the screen so you can subscribe to my channel and get notifications on all the new videos that I put out, and check out these other 2 videos that I have posted on my channel on either side of my picture. Have a great day.